The wait is finally over. Now we have a new Ben's Marble Tournament. This is the 4th season of these games, hosted by Neptune, the very first host of Ben's Marble Tournament, and we hope they will do well. But first, you have to qualify unless you're in the friendly round. But 28 marbles will compete in the qualifiers in these 4 events, and the top 12 will advance. This first event is the shot put. There is a duo event where the striker comes down, hits that little ball bearing or electron, and then the rest push the skipper as far as they can. We start off with Zephyr and Arrow. We have seen this duo in action before. As you see, they go off. You saw Zephyr hit that ball bearing, and you saw Arrow jump. The side view, a little bit better to see where they ended, and it's a 24-8-5 for Dragonfly. Seed and Berry, they are new members of Strawberry Racer. Strawberry Racer getting a new whole lineup. So far, that looks decent enough, but we'll have to see at the side view. A little bit shorter than Dragonfly, and it's a 21-5, so much shorter by about 3 centimeters. Colorful Swarm with Vibrant and Splash. They were 7th back in Ben's Marble Tournament Season 3, and that looked pretty good. We'll have to look at the side view. And, very high up in the air, and 25-2, that takes the lead for Colorful Swarm. Good job by them. Violet and Magenta for Purple Jellyfish. We have also seen this duo before. Violet was 6th in the Squid Game Marble Race, and they looked a little flat. Yeah, not much speed. And 18-6-5, so Purple Jellyfish is going to move to the bottom by a lot. Deuce and Serve. We have also seen this duo before. And Deuce as a striker pushes Serve. And that looks about the same as Purple Jellyfish. Well, not as bad. They actually did a lot better. 20.4. Run 6 with Navy as a striker and Cobalt as a skipper. For Blue Gang, we'll see how they do, and that looked short as well. Not the best. Yeah, out to 8 inches, 20.1. So not good. That puts Blue Gang into 5th. Taro and Raptor. We haven't seen this duo yet, but we'll see how they do in this first event that they're competing in, and that seems all right. Out towards 9 inches, just under 21.45. So it's not going to be the best for Dino. Macaw and Cockatoo for Parrot. Parrot got 12th in Ben's Marble Tournament Season 3. Will they qualify for this season? It's looking pretty good. Out towards 9 inches, about halfway there, and 23.3 puts Parrot into 3rd place. Champagne and Manila. As this duo goes up, Champagne as a striker, pushing Manila, the skipper. A little bit of a slow start, but that looked like a good jump. To take a look at the side view here, out towards 10 inches, and 24.4 puts Yellow Mango into 3rd place. Trying to have a redemption season after last time. Cocoa and Mocha for Brownie. And you see, that wasn't looking the best, but looked all right. Maybe not as bad as Colorful Swarm. But Brownie moves into 5th with a 21.55, so they go middle of the pack for now. Snowflake and Blizzard for Iceberg. These two have not competed in an event together yet. We'll see how they do, and most of it was off camera, but that looked like a far jump. Out towards 10 inches around Yellow Mangoes, and 4th for Iceberg, so just under the podium. Oceanic Shark with Hammerhead and Tiger. They are going down. How will Oceanic Shark do? That didn't look the best, but looks a little bit farther than some other teams. Towards 9 inches, 22.9. So not a bad run for Oceanic Shark. Now I move on into the showdown teams, starting with Hazard and Signal. The first event that Signal's ever competed in. As that looks like a good run by them. Signal was the skipper, so they're the ones that are jumping. And it's at 23.45, so not bad. Strike and Volt, both of these marbles have finished 11th in 2 events in the showdown. Ben's Marble Tournament Season 3, and that's a little bit of a short jump. But about towards 9 inches, so not that bad. And it's 8th, just below the top half. Inferno and Sparkle. Both of these marbles have competed in an event. And for Sparkle, that's not a bad jump. But where will it end up? Just above 9 inches, it looks like. 22.85. So we are halfway through the runs as we go down to Oscar with nominee and award. This is also their first time competing in an event, as it's not a good jump for them, at least by this view. It's not that good to look at. It's more good to look at the side view, and I was kind of right. 19.9, so under 20 centimeters. Cherry and Roma. See how this duo does for Tomato Speeder. Not the best, but we'll see how they do from the side view. It looks between 8 and 9 inches, 21.35. So it moves Tomato Speeder into 13th. So not great. Lemon and Banana. 2 marbles that finished 6th in Ben's Marble Tournament Showdown Season 3. Not the best, but we'll see how they do. And 22.8 for Fruits of Chaos. Middle of the pack in 9th. Skink and Gecko. A reserve and a captain. A lot of those going out in dual events. That looked a little bit to the side, I might say. Yeah, a little bit of a curve. 22.7, so it's Lizard in 10th. So not the best, but they've done better. Platinum and Mercury. Mercury, a new member, replacing Kaleido, as Silver Bullet not doing very good right now. Ooh, that's rough. 19.4, so second to last place with our final 8 runs here in this qualifiers. Fenrir and Lupin. Fenrir up pushing Lupin. And that doesn't look like a really far push, at least by that view. This view doesn't look much better. 20.15, so it puts Werewolf into 17th. Carbon and Jet for Black Diamond. Carbon is also a new member. And Carbon will get the win, will move out towards 9 inches. That's where a majority of marbles have landed. And it's at 21.4 Black Diamond. Shelly and Squirt. As they go down, and Shelly pushes Squirt out towards 8 inches. Yeah, about that. So not a very good launch. 19.6. Astro Turtle on 21st. That's pretty rough. These later teams have definitely been performing pretty poor. Let's see if Pinky Swirl can do anything different. And it doesn't look like it. The early runners seem to be doing better. The top 3 haven't moved at all since Yellow Mango's run. And Pinky Swirl goes into 17th. Final 4 runners with Minty Twist and Minty Cream for Minty Oreo. See what they can do, and that looks pretty good. Minty Oreo, not a bad run. That was a very good launch. And Minty Oreo goes into 5th with a 21.41. Not bad for them. Nectar and Buzz for Bumblebee. We'll see if they can pull off a similar run from Minty Oreo. Yeah, it looks about the same, but just a little bit shorter. What can Bumblebee do? Out towards 10 centimeters. 6 with 23.8. These last few runners know what they're doing. Well, the same go for Abominable and Tundra for Yeti. Tundra, first event. And that didn't look as good for Yeti, but see what it is. Oh, still out towards 10 centimeters. 7th, 23.75. So, Colorful Storm and Dragonfly are guaranteed a top 3 finish. Royal and Titan, the final runners. What can they do? Can they repeat that process? I don't think so. And no, they won't. And Peacock goes into 15th with a 21-8. Not bad, but they just have to do well in the other events. This means that Colorful Swarm wins this event with a 25-2. Dragonfly comes in second and Yellow Mango comes in third. So you see right now the top 12 will qualify. So there's no standings go after this because these are the provisional standings. And now we move on to the second event, Javelin. If you remember this in the Squid Game Marble Race, it was a pretty fun event, not gonna lie, but it's gonna be the same format, where 2 marbles from a team go down a track, a short one, and they push sticks. They do that 2 times in opposite lanes, and then the 2 distances are added up. Starting off with Bumblebee and Yellow Mango, they're putting in their reserves, and Yellow Mango will get the win. You see the side view right here? That's pretty good. So Drone and Hayden are in. 36-9 for Yellow Mango. And they'll switch lanes and do it again. None of these 2 were in the Squid Game Marble Race when this happened. And that's very close. We'll take a look at the side view for it. Ooh, that's very close, but Yellow Mango will get the win. And their total is 70.25, 68.45 for Bumblebee's Drone. Not a bad start for Hayden. Tomato Speeder and Black Diamond. And it's going to be fairly close between them, but I think Tomato Speeder got the win. Yes, they did, with a 36-5 from Beefsteak and a 35-9 from Onyx. Both of their captains. And off they go, and Onyx gets it first. Oh, and gets a little bit farther. Maybe a little bit of curve blocking Beefsteaks. And that gave Beefsteak a little bit shorter. 75 for Onyx, that's pretty good. But 63-8 for Tomato Speeder. Puts them in 4th. Brownie and Dragonfly. And Brownie, it looks like, will get the win. Dragonfly, just a tad slower. Looks like the upper lane is a little bit quicker. And 39-3 for Truffle, 37-8 for Wingspan. Wingspan has gotten a medal in every event that they've competed. But will they do it this time? Probably not. Truffle will get the win. Yeah, a little bit of curve for Wingspan, and it's a 79-8. So not good. In the overall standings, those totals are actually flipped around, so Brownie has a 79-8, moving them into first place. That's pretty good. Peacock and Lightning Bolt will get the win. Peacock could not do anything with Raven. Shock for Lightning Bolt. Shock has been in quite a few events, just hasn't done the best. Down they go again, and Shock gets the better start, gets the better win. Raven has had a lot of curving, and it hasn't led them to good finishes. 59-8-5 for them, not the best. So, and 74-4 puts Lightning Bolt into 3rd. Oceanic Shark and Fruits of Chaos. Fruits of Chaos are putting in Mango, who was in the Squid Game Marble Race, if you can believe it, at this time. It's put in for them, and it's a 39-4-5 for Mango, so not bad. Mako, on the other hand, they do just a tad bit worse. What can Mango do? Oh, a lot better than what Mako can do. Not good. They kind of dragged it. Mango, even though they lost, they are proving why they were brought here with a 78. Oceanic Shark, a little bit lower, they're in 9th. So not the best. Colorful Swarm and Strawberry Racer. Strawberry Racer, like I mentioned, in the first event, got new members. So who was put in for them? It was Jam, their reserve, along with Crimson. And it's a 40.9 for Jam. That's not a bad start. But can they continue it on here? Doesn't look like it. Colorful Swarm's Crimson got the win. And it's a 73-15 to a 72-9. That puts them respectively 5th and 6th. So pretty close between them. And it wasn't bad placing. Iceberg and Cautioner. We are almost halfway through. And Cautioner will get the win. I heard that Frost is also going to be put in for this event, they had the highest score in the Squid Game Marble Race in this event, if you can believe it. Not bad for Frost. Now they go up again, and Frost will get the win here as they showed up, and 76-7 and 72-3-5. So just a little bit better, but not as good for Frost. Blaze for Cautioner in the meantime goes into third place. Werewolf and Tennis Ball. Neither of these two were in the Squid Game Marble Race, but that looks pretty good for both of them, in fact. Oh, a very strong hit, and 40.9 and 37.8. That's a good run by Arlo and Volley. See if they can do the same thing, maybe even better. And they do! Volley, that is a very good run. Push it so far. A little bit of airborne, 47-3. With their totals an 85-1. Volley for Tennis Ball goes into first place. And Arlo is just behind in second. Great run by both of them. That is a lackluster run for Pinky Swirl. Oh, as Amethyst from Purple Jellyfish got the much better start with a 35-8-5. Now they switch lanes. Amethyst, a really quick start and gets the better push. Pinky Swirl. Pinky Rose is pretty slow, puts them into 17th. Purple Jellyfish with Amethyst goes into 6th, so not bad, with a 75-3-5, with a 38-3-5, and a 37. Minty Oreo and Oscar, Minty Swirl, their first event, and they get the win over Oscar, who we'll see who they put in a second. They put in Statue. Minty Swirl got a 37-7. As they go up again, we'll see if Statue can improve. And they do, at least by this view, by beating Minty Oreo. Sometimes it gets very close, but it's not much. Oscar goes into 13th, Minty Oreo in 8th. It wasn't too close between them, but still a good duel. Lizard and Firework. As they go down, Firework gets the better start and will get the win between them. See if Lizard can do any better in the next round. It's a 38-9 for Ember and a 34 for Chameleon. Chameleon was a silver medalist in lap racing in the showdown. And down they go. Ember gets the better push, as that was a poor run by Chameleon. 40.2 and 32, so it's a big difference. Ember goes into 4th. Lizard goes into 18th with Chameleon. Ember has been a very consistent marble. All right, Silver Bullet and Parrot. And that's a good run by Parrot, shooting it very far around what Volley and Arlo did. And it's a 46 out towards Volley. Is it? Yeah, Volley. Argent not doing as well. We'll see if they can do any better. That looks about the same. Argent has not been able to find a fitting. And nearly the same, 91-9, Parakeet goes into first place. Much over Volley and Arlo. They must be put in for the main show. Blue Gang and Dino will get the win between them. And by how much? By a bit. 43-2 to 39. So pretty good runs for their first hits. See if they continue that success here. But not by much. A little bit of curve for Dino, who they put in Triceratops, Blue Gang Sapphire. And that was a big disimprovement. And as Dino with a 78-7 goes into 6. Blue Gang a little bit lower. Our final runners, Yeti and Astro Turtle, and Yeti gets that first win. Pretty good. Everest was in the Squid Game Marble Race, as Turbo was not, and they get a 33. Yeti was very high for the final run. How will they do? And that is very close between them, but I think with a last-second push, I think Everest got higher. Yes, he did. It's a 41-2. Everest goes into 4th. Astro Turtle with Turbo even though it wasn't as good, still goes into 14th, which is still a top half finish. So we take a look at the results. Parrot got the win. Tennis Ball second. Werewolf, Yeti, Brownie, Firework, Dino, Fruits of Chaos, Cautioner, and Purple Jellyfish round out the top 10. Parrot with a 91.9. That was phenomenal. Both of them were right around each other. Now we look at the overall standings after 2 events. Parrot holds the lead by 4 points over Yeti, then Colorful Swarm, Minty Oreo. Despite not doing the best in both of the first 2 events, is in 4th. That's pretty good. Then Firework, Cautioner, Dragonfly, Fruits of Chaos, Iceberg, Brownie, Tennis Ball, and Yellow Mango are the current qualifiers. The rest of the teams have some work to do. Well, this was a first fun 2 events of the qualifiers. Part 2 will come out a little later. So long, everybody.